Nobody really knows what space is, how it works, or what is really out there. For centuries, it has been studied by different organizations who've collectively spent trillions of dollars trying to find these answers, but is it really worth it? In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain why space exploration is damaging to the environment, as well as why it needs to be limited or completely suspended for some time. As climate change becomes more severe, many industries are taking action to save the environment, but the space industry, one that has a strong negative impact on it, hasn't. Change needs to happen to save this planet before we look for a new one. I'm going to start by explaining the amount of pollution that already exists in space. Then I'll talk about the environmental habits of humans and how those are likely to spread to whatever planet we end up on next. And finally, I'm going to share the amount of money spent on space exploration that could be invested in more pressing matters here on Earth. Thousands of satellites are sent up to space yearly, but very few actually come back down. Those left up there are put into a dumpster orbiting Earth called space junk. I know that no matter how hard it is protested, space exploration will never stop for any amount of time. So the first thing to consider when addressing this orbital junkyard is the physical danger of it. The amount of waste in the orbit is becoming so dense that rockets and satellites are more likely to hit a piece of it and be destroyed instantly, only adding to this junk. According to Nathaniel Sharping of NOMA magazine, at orbital speeds, a hunk of metal just inches across can pack inertial energy equal to several pounds of TNT. This means that not only will more junk be added if a new object crashes into it, the survival chances of astronauts passing through this barrier is becoming less and less by the day. This junkyard will cost billions of dollars to clean and would be a very dangerous mission, so it will likely not be cleaned anytime soon, yet we're still sending devices up. If this continues, we're going to be trapped and cut off in space until the money and time is found to clean it. This pollution in space is only an extension of what is already occurring on Earth, though. The environmental habits of humans are bound to transfer to space if we don't change our carelessness for the environment. Every single rocket launch releases exhaust emissions called black carbon, nicknamed devil's venom. According to Mark Piesing of BBC, devil's venom is almost 500 times more efficient at holding heat in the atmosphere than all the other sources of soot combined. This means that black carbon is one of the highest contributors to the increase in surface temperatures on Earth. With rockets launching almost every day, this amount is immense. In February of 2025, NASA launched the Prime 1 mission, which was a lander set to drill into the moon's surface. Nathaniel Sharping of NOMA magazine again explains that the point of the mission is to see how much water might be captured from the sample of moon dust that emerges from the hole. Scientists and environmentalists now worry that this mission will encourage people to extort space's resources just like humans extort, overconsume, and exploit the Earth's resources. Humans have a history of causing ecological disasters due to the lack of concern and regulation to our actions. These actions are fueled by profit. Not only are these things bad for the environment, but they cost billions of dollars. The amount of money spent on space exploration is unimaginable. This large sum could be spent on more pressing matters here on Earth. In June of 2024, Boeing partnered with NASA to create a rocket called the Starliner. Between materials, labor, and astronaut training for the people who would be going on the mission, NASA and Boeing spent $4.223 billion on the whole thing. Not only was this trip costly, it also turned out to be a huge fail. The two astronauts aboard had planned an 8-day trip, but they were stuck on the International Space Station for 286 days, which cost even more to sustain them for that long. Elton Chang, author of The Ethics of Space Exploration and Its Environmental Impact, shares that in the realm of human spaceflight, ethical questions often arise regarding the safety and well-being of astronauts. The allocation of resources and the potential consequences of space missions on both the environment and other celestial bodies. So, even beyond the money aspect, space travel can be devastating for astronauts. $4.223 billion is a lot of money, which could be spent on more important things here on Earth that are an immediate need. This amount of money could solve many issues, such as lowering the homeless population, finding more environmentally friendly ways to run engines and other high carbon output machines, or giving all people on Earth access to basic services and resources, such as access to clean water, sanitation, and education. We need to focus on these things that are actually here and impacting people on our planet every day before we go looking for a new one. Earth needs to be our priority before we move into space. Now that you know a little bit more about space exploration and some of the negative side effects, such as the amount of pollution, the high likelihood of humans extorting space's resources, and the amount of money spent on this trip that could be allocated to more important places and Earth's issues, I hope you can see that as cool as it may seem, space exploration might not be all that worth it right now. For all of these reasons, space travel and exploration should be limited or suspended for some time to focus on issues here on Earth first. I hope you take this information and really think about this side of space exploration that isn't very shared widely.